Welcome back. This is my 5th transporter effect and my 4th transport effect. I think this is the one everybody has been waiting for. This is my circle beam effect. It looks something like that. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to make a new composition. We're going to call it circle beam. Now, the main principle in this composition is that we're using all circles. Okay, circles are under Effect, Generate, Circle. So you have a circle just like that, and all you have to do is click on the layer, just start adjusting. You start to get more of oval shapes and ellipses and stuff like that. You get that pretty easy. And as you can see, it doesn't take a lot to start getting the size of circle and the effect that you're looking for. So that's the technique that I use on all of this. So let's start. We're going to start with our circle glow down effect. It's basic. Our circle goes down just like that. And what I did there is I set up a circle. I set up my let's see. I've set up my radius to 16. I set up my edge to none. I've set my feather to there, and I've added a little bit of a blue color and no blending mode in particular. The second thing I did is I went ahead and animated the opacity and the position of the actual layer. So starting at 0 seconds, I went forward to 9 frames. And at my, it's about 8 frames, my opacity is at 0. And I also set my position, set wherever I need it to be. In this case, it's a 384 by 288. As I go forward, I want my my glow to be at 100% fairly kind of slowly, if you notice there. And I set a keyframe at 100% there, so that's at 22 frames. That's about 11 frames. At 104 frames, so this 1 second 4 frames, I have it set at about 100%. Then what I want is I want it to leave really quickly. So by 110, so about another 6 frames, the effect is gone. At the same time, I have my position is at its maximum reach, and I set a keyframe for that. Okay, I basically copied that layer. It's Control D. It copies, and I'm going to rename that. You can just select the layer, hit Enter to rename, and I'm going to call that Circle Glow Up. As the name implies, this glow goes up instead of down. It's almost an exact duplicate, which is why we don't have to worry about too much. Now, the only thing, if you've duplicated, that you have to do is from our starting point, which is the same as our circle down. Instead of going down, we just have it go up the same amount. So this one ends at 151, while our other one ended at 439. Okay. Our next circle that we're dealing with is our vertical glow. This glow stays on the longest. It doesn't dissipate till right there at about 225 or so. Okay. We're not animating that layer at all. All we're doing is just playing with the opacity on it. So set that up. We set our circle. We have our radius is at 92. Feather is at 46, and we set the color to that blue color there. Our opacity at 100. We also set up a second circle that goes on the inside. This one we set to a radius of -3 and a large feather output. And we set it to kind of a lighter shade of bluish white there. The idea here, if you can see, our other circle is right there. Just kind of adds a softness to the actual circle, especially when you go out. Now for our opacity, at 12 frames, we set a keyframe opacity at 0. Then we come out to 2 seconds 7 frames, and we set our opacity to 100. Again, like all the other ones, we have it leave pretty fast. So from 207 to 225, the effect is gone. Our next one that we do is our center glow. This is the first one that comes on for us. And again, we're not animating anything here. We're just adding opacity. So we set our center radius to 28, edge to none, feather output 24, and we set kind of a nice blue color. For our circle 2, we do the same thing. We just have our radius is a little bit below. So instead of 28, it's 18, feather output 24, 100, and a slighter shade. And we do it for the same exact reason. You can see there, circle 2 is just kind of adds a nice little softness to the whole layer. So we set our opacities. This one, opacity starts, we set a keyframe at 0 seconds. As we go out, we set a keyframe at 15 seconds. And as we, keyframe at 15 seconds is at 100%. And then keyframe at 103, and we just set that to 0. So if you were to look at the opacity on all these, you'd see they're kind of staggered like this. Just like that. Now the very last thing that we add to this is we need to add the particle effect. For this we're using CC Particle Systems 2. We go to Effect, Simulation, Particle Systems 2 right there. You notice how I've actually offset this whole entire layer off. It's actually offset about 12 seconds there. Oops, sorry. It's offset 11 seconds. Okay. This is the layer that is going to make our stars come out. So the things that I'm animating on here are just my birth rate. So at 0 on this actual layer, I do a keyframe on my birth rate, set it to 0.5. Set my longevity to 2. And my position is just where, I want to try to set it at the same spot that my center circle starts to come in. So it looks like it's emanating from there. Radius, I want 0.3, 0.3. I don't want it to go out to this area of the screen. I just want it to stay in kind of a nice little area right here. I set the physics up to twirl. The velocity down a little bit because I want the stars to kind of stay relatively close to where they need to be, and also the inherent velocity I set it to there. Gravity I set to 0 because I don't want it going up or down. If I set this like this, the gravity starts to go down or go up like that. Air resistance I set to 17, and that just helps counter the stars moving too much. The reason they're actually moving that much is because I have it on twirly. If I set it to something like explosive, you can see the stars, after they've been pushed out of the producer here, don't actually really have a lot of movement to them. I thought the twirl looked a little bit cooler though. As far as my particle, I'm setting it to star. You could as easily set it to line, which I kind of think has a cool effect. It looks like a galaxy exploding or something like that. Then I just set that to burst size 15, depth size 75, size variation to 50, fade out, max opacity, and I set my colors up like that. So then we add all those effects together, you get that. So now we put that all into our main effect. We're just going to bring our circle beam to the top. This layer right here has a mask on it, and that's actually what I'm animating. I'm animating the opacity on that to bring the table in. So I let the effect start to take place, and then at 1 second, I have the table start to come in. By 3 seconds, 13 frames, the table is completely in, and my sparkle fade out at right about 4 seconds there. This is just my table base, and it just hides the fact that the table is actually there until it comes in at that point there. And then this just is me right there. So that's pretty much that effect. I'll see you on the next one.